Welcome to championship clinching night on the live stream. ALCS Game 7. Mariners and Blue Jays. Winner heads to the World Series. Loser sees their season come to an end. We'll preview this game momentarily. First of all, let me start off with a prayer. Lord Jesus, thank you for this day. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for looking over us, Lord. And please protect these players and fans alike, Lord. Please keep everyone safe tonight. And please look over all of us and do your will on all of us, Lord. As we ask this in your name, we pray. Amen. Game 7, Mariners, Blue Jays. The two best words in postseason sports in any sport. Game 7. It's been a 162-game grind in the regular season, a grind through the division series, and now a grind through the ALCS. It comes down to one game, Mariners and Blue Jays. Winner moves on to the World Series to play the Los Angeles Dodgers. Loser sees their season come to a close. The Game 5 starting pitching matchup, George Kirby going to get the start for the Mariners. Shane Bieber going to get the start for the Blue Jays. But it's probably all pitchers on deck tonight in a decisive Game 7. We will see what happens as the Mariners look for their first World Series appearance in franchise history. They came into the league in 1977. Blue Jays also entered Major League Baseball in 1977. They're looking for their first World Series appearance since 1993. The second year of back-to-back championships for the Toronto Blue Jays back in the early 90s. It comes down to this. One game to decide it. Let's take a look at the Mariners' batting order. They will send out tonight. Rodriguez in center field will lead off. Cal Raleigh, number 2 spot, catching. Naylor at first base will bat third. Polanco DHing in the cleanup spot. Randy Arozarena in left field will bat 5th. Eugenio Suarez, third baseman, bats 6th. J.P. Crawford batting 7th. He's the shortstop. Rivas at second base will bat 8th. And Robles in right field in the number 9 spot. Dan Wilson's jumbled up the lineup a little bit. Rodriguez, Raleigh, Naylor. Polanco, Arozarena, Suarez, Crawford, Rivas, and Robles, the starting batting order for the Seattle Mariners. They will face the Game 7 starter for the Toronto Blue Jays, Shane Bieber. Bieber getting his third start of the postseason. He has a 1-0 record. He has pitched 8 2/3 innings, given up 4 runs, 9 hits. He's walked 2. He has struck out 10. How long will these starting pitchers go tonight? It's probably a very, very short leash for both of them, as it's going to be all hands on deck as far as pitching staff goes tonight. World Series gets underway on Friday. If the Blue Jays win, they will have home field advantage over the Dodgers. If the Mariners win, Dodgers will get home field advantage. The Dodgers will have about a week off between clinching the NLCS and Game 1 of the World Series. So we are just about set. We are about 3 minutes away from first pitch between the Mariners and the Blue Jays. Not that the season series means anything at all anymore with the going to Game 7. Toronto won the season series 4-2. But what an interesting series this has been. Road team won the first 4 games of this series. Seattle won the first 2 in Toronto. Toronto turned around, took 2 of 3 in Seattle. Blue Jays got the win at home last night, their first win at home in this series. The umpiring crew for this decisive Game 7, Quinn Wolcott behind the plate calling the balls and strikes. Doug Eddings, the umpire over at first base. Ben May at second base. Alfonso Marquez at third. Marvin Hudson, umpire down the left field line. And DJ Rayburn, who was behind the plate last night, he is down the right field line tonight. That's your 6-man umpiring crew for this Game 7. This Mariners team has not hit that well in the postseason. They're only hitting .212 as a team in the postseason. But both teams have been really based on home runs. It has been a home run clinic for both of these teams in the postseason. Toronto, meanwhile, we told you Seattle hitting just .212 in the postseason. Mariners, or Blue Jays rather, hitting .294 in the postseason. So over an 80-point difference in between the two teams in postseason play. But it all comes down to one game. 173rd game of the year for the Blue Jays, 174th game of the year for the Seattle Mariners. And the Rogers Center electric tonight. Again, the roof is closed tonight at the Rogers Center. So one team, either one of these teams will make the World Series for the first time in franchise history, or one of these teams will get back for the first time in 32 years. And that was very interesting. The Blue Jays went back-to-back in 1992 and 1993. But actually, they had the World Series trophy in their possession for 3 seasons. Won the World Series in 92, won the World Series in 93. The strike wiped out the 94 World Series. So the Blue Jays technically had the trophy in their possession until 1995 when the Braves won the World Series. And finally got it out of the hands of Toronto. Shane Bieber finishing his warm-up tosses. And Game 7 is just about to get underway. Be an electric crowd once again at the Rogers Center. Julio Rodriguez will lead off in Game 7 for the Mariners. Rodriguez in postseason play hitting just 186, 8 out of 43. 3 of his 8 hits have been home runs. Warm-up tosses being completed by Bieber. Rodriguez stepping in the batter's box. And the 7th and deciding game of the ALCS just about to get underway. First pitch, ball 1. Rodriguez mentioned hitting 186 in the postseason. He's hitting 4 for 20 in this ALCS. Rodriguez, that's a fair ball down the left field line on the second pitch he sees into the corner. And Rodriguez comes into second with a stand-up double to lead off this Game 7 for the Mariners. And the batter will be Cal Raleigh. Raleigh in postseason play hitting .302. He's got 4 home runs in the postseason. Mariners going in their navy blue tops tonight with the gray pants. Pitch to Raleigh's outside, ball 1. Blue Jays going with their all-white uniforms, blue numbers. One 0 pitch on the way to Cal Raleigh. Swing and a miss, 1-1. And the throw back to second, just to check on Julio Rodriguez back there. 1-1 to Cal Raleigh. A bouncer to first base. Guerrero will play it himself. And actually, correction, they're going to call that a foul ball. So it's 1-2. Raleigh steps back in and awaits Bieber's 1-2 pitch. And here it is. Outside, 2-2. Julio Rodriguez at second. He had a leadoff double to start off this game tonight. Two-two pitch to Raleigh. Downstairs, that will fill the count, 3-2. Here comes a payoff 3-2 pitch to Cal Raleigh. Hit foul, first base side. Count stays 3-2. Another 3-2 payoff pitch to Cal Raleigh. This will be the seventh pitch of the at-bat. Swing and a miss. Raleigh goes down on strikes. And the batter will be Naylor. Naylor in the postseason hitting .341. He's been Seattle's best hitter overall in the postseason. He's hit 3 home runs. Pitch from Bieber to Naylor. Upstairs, ball 1. Naylor hitting over .400 in this ALCS. All 3 of his postseason home runs have come in this series. Bieber looks back at Rodriguez at second, and now the look over, and Rodriguez gets back. Pitch to Naylor, hit foul, first base side. Count goes to 1-1. Naylor hitting in the number 3 spot tonight for Seattle. Naylor steps out of the box momentarily. One pitch to Naylor from Bieber. Outside, 2-1. That misses high, and the count goes to 3-1 now on Naylor. Three-one pitch on the way to Naylor. Grounder through into right field for a base hit. Rodriguez rounding third. The throw home up the line. Rodriguez scores the first run of the night. 1-0 Mariners here in the first. RBI single for Naylor. He continues his fantastic postseason. And the batter will be Jorge Polanco, cleanup hitter. Polanco in the postseason hitting .205, 9 out of 44. Polanco takes strike one. Polanco 5 for 22 in this ALCS. Strike one pitch outside, 1-1. One pitch that misses. Count goes to 2-1. Polanco awaits Bieber's 2-1 pitch. There's a strike. Count goes to 2-2. Bieber looks back at Naylor at first and delivers the 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Down low, full count, 3-2. Three-two full count pitch on the way. And a throw over to first. Naylor dives back in. Another payoff pitch on the ground. And to short, stepping on second, that's one. And the ball gets kicked away by Naylor on the throw to first base. So no double play. John Schneider coming out. It went right off the back of Naylor's helmet on the throw to first base. Oh. I mean, that hit him right square in the back of the helmet. So the umpire's getting together here to see if there was some kind of interference by Naylor. He is for sure out at second base. The question is, was there interference by Naylor on the throw to first base, or was it just one of those freak things? All six of the umpires are getting together. They're showing it one more time. Clearly out at second, and then on the throw is when it hits Naylor in the back of the helmet on the throw over to first base. They're calling, and they are going to call interference because they are calling Polanco out. So one of the oddest double plays to end the inning. Mariners do get one. Blue Jays will come up in the bottom of the first. 1-0 Seattle. And here is the lineup the Blue Jays will send out for Game 7. George Springer DHing and leading off. Lucas in left field will bat second. Vladimir Guerrero hitting third, playing first base. Alejandro Kirk, the catcher, in the cleanup spot. Varsho in center field will bat fifth. Clement, the third baseman, will bat sixth. Barger in right field will bat seventh. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at second base batting eighth. And Jimenez, the shortstop, in the number 9 spot. Springer, Lucas, Guerrero, Kirk, Varsho, Clement, Barger, Kiner-Falefa, and Jimenez. The batting order for the Toronto Blue Jays, and they will face starting pitcher here in Game 7 for the Mariners, George Kirby, making his 4th postseason start. He's 0-1. He's pitched 14 innings. He's given up 11 runs, 17 hits. His ERA for the postseason is over 7. He's walked 3 and struck out 18. So the Mariners will by far need to have Kirby's best game of the postseason on the mound. He already steps up to the pitching mound with a 1-0 lead. It'll be Springer to lead it off here in the bottom of the first for the Blue Jays. Springer in postseason play hitting .233. He's got 3 home runs. Toronto as a team with 19 home runs in the postseason. That's almost 2 a game. Los Angeles Dodgers await the winner of this game in the World Series. If it's Toronto, the Dodgers will be coming to Toronto for games 1 and 2. If it's the Mariners, Mariners will be going to LA for games 1 and 2. Here's Springer to lead off in the bottom of the first. Kirby's pitch up and in, ball 1. He got hit in Game 5. He almost was hit by a pitch last night, and that one came up and in on him there. .1-0 pitch, that's high. 2-0. .2-0 pitch. Springer fouls it off. 2-1. Springer steps in, and Kirby's 2-1 pitch fouled away. Count goes to 2-2. Two-two pitch. Low and outside, and the count runs full. 3-2. Full count pitch to the leadoff hitter, George Springer. And here it is. Ball 4. That's a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the first to Springer. And the batter will be Lucas. Lucas in postseason play hitting .343. One of the 3 of the Blue Jays regular starters in the postseason that's hitting over 300 in the playoffs. Ball 1 to Lucas. Kirby looks in on Lucas and delivers the 1-0 pitch. Strike 1. Kirby delivers the 1-1 pitch to Lucas. That's down the left field line. It is caught out there in left field by Rosarena for the first out, and it will bring up Guerrero. Guerrero in the postseason hitting .462. 6 home runs. A third of his hits in the postseason are home runs. The pitch to Guerrero. Inside corner, strike 1. Kirby's 0-1 pitch to Guerrero. Strike 2. Kirby's going right after him. Guerrero awaits Kirby's 0-2 pitch. On the ground and through into left field for a base hit. And that'll put Blue Jays on at first and second with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Guerrero continues his red-hot postseason, and it'll bring up Alejandro Kirk. Kirk in the postseason hitting .220. First and second, 1 out for the Blue Jays as they try to answer the Mariners' run in the top of the first. The pitch to Kirk. Low and outside, it'll get away from Raleigh, but not far enough to advance the runners. And Springer's not running very well, especially with that injury to his knee. Raleigh going out to have a word with his pitcher Kirby out on the mound. Meeting on the mound is over between Raleigh and Kirby. And Kirby gets set to deliver the 1-0 pitch to Alejandro Kirk. Ball 2. 2-0 pitch to Kirk. There's a strike at the knees, 2-1. Kirby's 2-1 pitch on the way to Alejandro Kirk. Upstairs, it's 3-1. Three-one offering. Outside corner, full count. Payoff pitch to Alejandro Kirk. Popped up. Foul territory, first base side. That'll get out of play, and the count stays 3-2. Springer at second, Guerrero at first, the two base runners for the Blue Jays. And another full count pitch to Alejandro Kirk. Foul back again. It'll be pitch number 8 of the at-bat coming up. Kirby ready, Kirk ready. The 3-2 payoff pitch once again. Swing and a miss. He got him. 2 outs. And it'll bring up Dalton Varsho. Varsho hitting .250 in postseason play. Boy, Kirby just threw that pitch right by Kirk. First and second, now 2 outs. Pitch to Varsho. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Varsho hitting just 3 for 24 in the ALCS. Oh, 1 pitch. Up on the middle and through into right center field, a base hit. Springer rounding third, he will score. Guerrero to third. Blue Jays tie it 1-1 here in the bottom of the first. RBI single for Dalton Varsho. Brings up Clement. Clement hitting .447 in the postseason. Go-ahead run at third is Guerrero with 2 outs. Swing and a miss by Clement, strike 1. Clement, a .447 hitter in the postseason, hitting .333 in this series. Kirby's 0-1 pitch. Bounced foul, and it's 0-2 on Clement. Kirby about to throw his 25th pitch of the first inning. It's in the air to center. And it's going to be caught out there by Rodriguez for the third out. Blue Jays tie it. RBI single by Varsho. Inning in the books in Game 7. Mariners and Blue Jays 1-1. Dodgers are sitting back, awaiting the winner in Game 1 of the World Series, which will get underway on Friday. Again, if the Blue Jays win this game, they will have home field in the World Series. If it is the Mariners that win this game, it'll be the Dodgers that will hold home field advantage. It's going to be Arozarena leading it off for the Mariners here in the second inning, as both teams pick up a run in the first. Arozarena in postseason play hitting just 182. So on we go to inning number 2. First pitch, top 2, strike 1. A 1 pitch from Bieber's outside. 1-1 now the count on Arozarena. One pitch is low. Count will go to 2-1. Two-one pitch fouled back. Count will even up 2-2. Two-two pitch to Arozarena on the ground and through into left center field for a base hit. Arozarena aboard to lead off the top of the second. And that will bring up Eugenio Suarez. Suarez in postseason play hitting 209. 9 out of 43. 3 of his 9 hits have gone for home runs and takes high, ball 1. One 0 pitch to Suarez from Bieber. That's lined into center. That's going to be a base hit. Rosarena will stop at second. Mariners have the first two on here in the second inning for J.P. Crawford. Crawford in the postseason hitting 189, 7 out of 37. Just 2 for 18 in this series for J.P. Crawford. Shows bunt, gets it down. That'll get the job done. Crawford out at first, but the bunt advances the runners to second and third. So a successful sacrifice for J.P. Crawford, and it'll bring up Leo Rivas, hitting 154 in the postseason. Mariners have 2 on with 1 out here in the second. Pitch is a strike. Rivas hitting just 1 for 10 in this series. Strike one pitch. Fouled away. Rivas is down the count 0-2. Bottom of the lineup, the bottom 3 hitters for the Mariners in this series have struck out 16 times combined. And make it 17 as Rivas strikes out. Out number 2. And the batter will be Victor Robles. Postseason play, Robles hitting just 115, 3 out of 26. Hitting 083 here in the ALCS. There's a bouncer. Back to Bieber. Throws to first, and the Blue Jays get out of it. First and third, nobody out. Mariners cannot bring anybody home. We go to the bottom of the second. Mariners, Blue Jays, 1-1 in Game 7. Be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for Toronto. Barger, Kiner-Falefa, and Jimenez due up in the bottom of the second inning. In this 1-1 game. This is arguably, or maybe unarguably, the biggest game in the now 49-year history of the Seattle Mariners. Both these teams entered Major League Baseball in 1977. Mentioned the Mariners have never reached the World Series. Blue Jays haven't reached it since 1993. Blue Jays have only reached the World Series 2 previous times, and they won both of those in 1992 and 1993. Barger will lead off the bottom of the second for Toronto. Barger in the postseason hitting 281. Couple of home runs. As it was a high pitch count for George Kirby in that first inning. He threw 25 pitches. Bieber has excuse me, Bieber's thrown 32 pitches through 2 innings. It's going to be all hands on deck in both of these bullpens in a Game 7. So the starters, both of these starters will have a very, very short leash. So Barger steps up to lead off the bottom of the second for Toronto against George Kirby. First pitch, bottom of the second. Ball 1. Barger hitting .250 here in the ALCS. 1-0 pitch, right down the middle for strike 1. Ball and a strike. One. On the ground, foul. First base side, now 1-2. Barger steps back in the batter's box and calls time before the 1-2 pitch. Barger now ready. 1-2 pitch on the way from Kirby. Little low, 2-2. Comes another 2-2 pitch. Bouncer short on one hop. Easy play here, and the throw to first dug out by Naylor. A little bit of a low throw there by J.P. Crawford, but Naylor a good job to dig it out for the first out. And he'll bring up Isaiah Connor Falefa. Hitting .235 in postseason play. Four for 11 in this series, though, for a .364 average. Ball 1. Kirby's 0-1 or 1-0 pitch, rather, to Isaiah Kiner Falefa. And lined and caught by Naylor at first base for out number 2. Brings up the number 9 hitter, Andres Gimenez. Postseason play hitting .243. He's got a couple home runs. That's on the ground. That's going to be a tough play. Off balance throw, no chance to get Gimenez. And an infield single with 2 outs. J.P. Crawford had to backhand that, and there was no chance he was throwing out a speedy Andres Gimenez at first base. And we're back to the top of the order in Springer. He walked and scored the Blue Jays run last inning. Springer takes high, ball 1. Jimenez, the lead from first, not a big one. And Springer takes inside. It's 2-0. Two-0 pitch to Springer. Bouncer to third. Throw to first to retire Springer and retire the Blue Jays in the bottom of the second. 2-out single by Jimenez, but he is stranded there at first. We head to the third. Game 7 in Toronto. It'll be the top of the order. Rodriguez, Raleigh, and Naylor for the Mariners in the third in a 1-1 game. Other baseball news, the San Diego Padres are expected to meet with Albert Pujols. I talked to Pujols about the Padres' open managerial job. Pujols and the Angels broke off their talks. Baltimore Orioles also expected to reach out to Pujols. So there are currently 8 teams looking for new managers so far for next year. The Padres and Angels, along with the Orioles, and then you've got the Atlanta Braves, San Francisco Giants, Washington Nationals, Colorado Rockies, and Minnesota Twins. All in search of their managers for 2026. So on we go to the third. Rodriguez, the top of the order, will lead it off. Rodriguez led off the game with a double and scored. The Mariners run in the first, and Rodriguez fouls that one off for strike one. Rodriguez fouled that right off his shin, it looked like. Trainer coming out to have a look at Rodriguez before he steps back in the batter's box. Rodriguez says he's good to go, and he steps back in the box. Rodriguez swings and misses on the 0-1 pitch. It's now 0-2. Oh-2 pitch. Low and outside. Appeal to first, but no swing, says the first base umpire. One-two pitch. Left's low and outside. Counts even 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Bouncer to third. That's a fair ball. Throw over to first. Dug out. Now they're saying foul ball. So it is a foul ball. So Rodriguez steps back in the box. Two-two pitch again. And another foul ball, third base side. Two-two again. Rodriguez sends it in the air, left center field, and that's going to get out of here. Julio Rodriguez with a solo home run to left center. 2-1 Mariners. They retake the lead here in the third. Rodriguez goes deep for the fourth time in the postseason. And here comes Cal Raleigh. Pitch to Raleigh is a bouncer to first. Guerrero underhand throw to Bieber, covering, and he's got it for the first out. And the batter will be Naylor. 1-for-1. He singled and drove in Rodriguez back in the first. And that is a fly ball out into right field, and the catch will be made out there by Barger. So Naylor went after the first pitch, and it'll bring up Polanco with bases empty and 2 outs. And the pitch is down for ball 1. One-0 pitch, and that misses. 2-0. 2-0. There's a strike at the knees. 2-1. 2-1 pitch hit foul. That will even the count 2-2. Two pitch upstairs. That will fill the count 3-2. Randy Arozarena is on deck. 3-2 is foul, and the count will stay full. Three-two. Up the middle and through for a base hit. Polanco aboard with a 2-out single. And the inning continues for Randy Arozarena. Arozarena singled his first time up. Already 6 hits in the game for the Mariners off of Bieber. Pitch to Arozarena. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Bieber about to throw his 50th pitch. Here's the 0-1. Way high, 1-1. One pitch. Strike two. One-two pitch. Low and outside. 2-2. Two-two pitch. Got him. Got Arozarena to chase a low one. But the Mariners take the lead back on the Rodriguez solo home run as we go to the bottom of the third. Decisive Game 7 for a trip to the World Series. Mariners lead at 2-1. Lucas, Guerrero, and Kirk. 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the lineup. Scheduled here in the bottom of the third. So on we go, the bottom of the third. Lucas will lead it off. Lucas 0 for 1 so far. Blue Jays will have to play catch up for the second time tonight. As George Kirby, for the second time in this game, will take the mound in a half inning with the lead. Mariners got a run in the top of the first. Blue Jays immediately tied it in the bottom half. Then the Rodriguez home run in the top of this inning has given the Mariners the lead back. First pitch, bottom of the third to Lucas. Ball one. Lucas flew out his first time back in the first inning. One-0 pitch from Kirby. That's inside. It's 2-0. Two-0 pitch. There's a strike. 2-1. Guerrero is on deck. Comes the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss by Lucas. Counts even 2-2. Two-two pitch. That's foul. Count stays 2-2. Kirby looks in and delivers another 2-2 to Lucas and another foul ball. Another 2-2 pitch set to be delivered from Kirby. Swing and a miss. He got Lucas to chase. And Lucas down on strikes for the first out. And it will bring up Guerrero. Guerrero singled back in the first in his previous plate appearance. Guerrero hits it in the air to right field, and a catch made as the second baseman Rivas went out there to shallow right field to make the catch. And the batter will be Alejandro Kirk. With 2 out, nobody on. Kirk was a strikeout victim his first time up against Kirby. Swing and a miss on the first pitch to Kirk, 0-1. Kirby's 0-1 pitch on the way to Kirk. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Oh-2 pitch misses outside, 1-2. So totally different game so far for Kirby in this game 7 than he had in his game 3 start, where he just got roughed up by this Blue Jays offense. That's lined right to the shortstop, J.P. Crawford. That ball was hit right on the money, but right at Crawford. Kirby retires Toronto 1-2-3. In the third, we go to the middle innings here in Game 7. It's 2-1 Seattle. And they will send up the 6, 7, and 8 hitters here in the fourth. Suarez, Crawford, and Rivas. So Shane Bieber had 53 pitches through 3 innings. As Eugenio Suarez will be the leadoff batter for Seattle here in the fourth. Suarez a single his first time against Bieber. Kirby in that Game 3 loss he suffered in this series to Toronto. It was a short outing for Kirby in that one as he only went 4 innings. Gave up 8 runs in that game. But so far through this one, a lot better outing. Just allowed the 1 run through 3. As we head to inning number 4. Suarez, Crawford, and Rivas, the 3 scheduled hitters for Seattle. Leading it 2-1. Again, it's worth repeating. If Seattle wins this game, the Dodgers will have home field advantage, and the first 2 games of the series would be in Los Angeles. If Toronto is victorious, the Blue Jays will have home field advantage. Games 1 and 2 would be right back at the Rogers Center. So here we go, top of the fourth. Bieber back to work here against Suarez. First pitch, top 4. Inside, ball 1. 1-0 pitch. That's a little inside. It's 2-0 the count on Suarez. 2-0 swing and a miss. May have swung at ball 3 there, but instead it's 2-1. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. He was swinging for Ottawa on that swing. It's 2-2. And for the first time tonight, the Blue Jays do get their bullpen action in the bullpen. Varland is loosening right now. 2-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. 3 consecutive strikes after falling behind 2-0. And Bieber has his 4th strikeout. And it will bring up J.P. Crawford. Crawford had a sacrifice bunt his first time. Outside, ball 1. 1-0 pitch. That hits the outside corner for strike 1, a ball and a strike. Bieber's 1-1 pitch. Little low, 2-1. Bieber looks in. And quickly delivers the 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Bieber looks in on Crawford and delivers the 2-2 pitch. That's fouled back. Crawford stays alive. Looking ahead to the bottom of the fourth, it's going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for Toronto. Varsho, Clement, and Barger. Here comes the 2-2 to Crawford. Downstairs, full count, 3-2. Rivas on deck. 3-2 payoff pitch. That's lined into left field. That is a fair ball. And Crawford will pull in at second with a one-out double here in the fourth for Seattle. Hit number 7 in the game for the Mariners. And Rivas is the batter. Struck out his first time up. Pitch to Rivas is outside, ball 1. So a chance for a big insurance run here for Seattle as they have a runner in scoring position with 1 out. The 1-0, there's a strike. Counts even, 1-1. One pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2 now. Number 9 hitter Victor Robles is on deck. One-two pitch. Got him. Rivas strikes out for the second time. 2 down, and it'll bring up Robles. Runner at second, 2 outs. Robles grounded out back in the second inning in his first at bat. Swing and a miss on Bieber's 70th pitch. Oh, 1. That's a little outside, a ball and a strike. One pitch. Downstairs, 2-1. If Robles gets on, will this be Bieber's last batter? Got the top of the order up next. Pickoff throw back to second. Crawford back in rather easily. You got the top of the order, Rodriguez on deck. Rodriguez homered last time up. The 2-1 misses low, and the count is now 3-1. Bieber frustrated with that ball 3 call. The 3-1 pitch. That's upstairs. Ball 4. Robles draws a 2-out walk. And out comes John Schneider. That's what I figured. It was probably going to be his last hitter if Robles got on. Bieber getting a little frustrated with the strike zone by the home plate umpire, Quinn Wolcott. So Bieber's night is done on the mound after 3 2/3 innings. He will give way to Varland, who inherits runners at first and second, 2 outs. So Bieber, 3 2/3 innings, gave up 7 hits, walked 1, struck out 5 through 74 pitches. Varland coming in for the 10th time in the postseason. 0-1. He's pitched 9 2/3 innings. He's given up 3 runs, 7 hits. He's walked 1, and he has struck out 13. He's coming on to try to get the final out here in the 4th inning and keep it a 2-1 ball game. So Varland will face the top of the order, Julio Rodriguez, with 2 on and 2 out. Rodriguez is 2 for 2. He singled and he's homered. Pitch to Rodriguez. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Oh, 1. Down low, 1-1. On the ground to third. And Varland will get the Blue Jays out of it. Seattle strands 2. Mariners have now left 5 on base through 4 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Still a 2-1 lead for the Mariners. And again, it'll be Varsho, Clement, and Barger. 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Blue Jays, due up in the bottom of the 4th inning. Update on some other sports news. We do have a couple of Monday night football games. And the first game, Tampa Bay and Detroit, is headed to the 4th quarter. Lions lead the Buccaneers 21-9. Second game of the Monday Night Football doubleheader, Texans and Seahawks. So Varsho to lead it off. RBI single in the first that brought in Springer for Toronto's only run of the game so far. Here we go. First pitch, bottom of the fourth to Varsho, a strike. It's 0-1. 0-1 pitch. That misses. Counts even 1-1. One pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2. One-two pitch on the way from Kirby. Upstairs, 2-2. Comes the 2-2. From Kirby to Varsho. Hit foul. Count will stay 2-2. Another 2-2 pitch coming to Varsho. Swing and a miss. He got him. Strikeout number 3 for Kirby, and it'll bring up Clement. Clement 0 for 1 on the night. Ball 1. Clement lined out back in the first inning. One-0 pitch. That's outside. It's 2-0. Two-0 pitch. Here's a strike. Counts now 2-1. Two-one pitch is outside, and that will move the count to 3-1 on Clement. Barger on deck. Three-one pitch. Popped up. Just off the infield, second baseman Rivas makes the catch. for the second out. And the batter will be Barger. Bases empty, 2 outs. Barger takes strike 1. Barger grounded out to lead off the bottom of the second for the Blue Jays. Oh, 1 pitch. That's a little tight. 1-1 now on Addison Barger. One. Swing and a miss. 1-2. The count on Barger. One-two pitch to Barger. Inside, 2-2. Kirby trying to get through 4 innings. It would match his distance pitched in Game 3. 2-2 pitch and through into right center field for a base hit. Barger hit that just past Rivas at second base. And Barger has a 2-out single, and it'll bring up Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Kiner-Falefa 0 for 1 tonight so far. That was the Blue Jays' 4th hit of the ball game against Kirby. Pitch to Kiner-Falefa up the middle, but right there playing that way at second base was Rivas. He steps on second to end the inning. 2-out single. Does not harm the Mariners. We go to the 5th. 2-1 Seattle. It'll be Raleigh, Naylor, and Polanco. 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Mariners here in the 5th. So on we go to the 5th. 2-1 lead for Seattle, and here's Raleigh to lead it off. 0 for 2 tonight so far. Varland back to work on the mound after getting the final out in the fourth. Swing and a miss by Raleigh on the first pitch, top of the fifth. Oh, 1. Raleigh rips it. Deep right field, back it goes, and gone into the bullpen. Raleigh sends it out. And it's a 3-1 lead for the Mariners. Raleigh goes deep for the 5th time in this postseason. Naylor, and he sends one into right center. This one's going to stay in play, however, and the center fielder, Varsho, makes the catch for the first out, and it'll bring up Polanco. Polanco 1 for 2 tonight. He swings at the first pitch and fouls it off. Strike 1. A 1 misses. The ball and a strike. One is hit to first. Guerrero will tag the bag himself for out number 2. And that will bring up Randy Arozarena. Bases empty and 2 outs. Arozarena 1 for 2, singled and struck out. His 2 prior plate appearances. Arozarena tried to hold up, could not. Strike 1. Varland's 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Oh, 2 is bounced foul. Count will stay 1-2. Oh, 2 pitch is in the air. Shallow center field. Second baseman Kiner Falefa makes the catch to end the inning, but the Mariners add a run on the Raleigh home run. Halfway through Game 7, 3-1 Seattle. The Blue Jays in the bottom of the 5th inning will have Jimenez, and then the top of the order, Springer and Lucas. 3 runs, 8 hits for the Mariners, 1 run, 4 hits for the Blue Jays. It's been an error-free game so far. Mariners have stranded 5 runners on base. Blue Jays have stranded 4. And Kirby's night on the mound is done after 4 innings. And the Mariners will go to the bullpen for the first time in Game 7. And bring on Bryan Woo. Woo on for just the second time in this postseason. He's pitched 2 innings. He's given up a run and 2 hits in his prior outing. And Woo will face Jimenez to lead it off here in the bottom of the 5th. So the line on Kirby, 4 innings pitched, gave up 4 hits. 1 run was earned, walked 1, struck out 3. He threw 65 pitches. So neither starter will be able to get the win tonight. So Jimenez will lead it off. He is 1 for 1 in this game with a single. So we'll see how Woo reacts coming in for just the second time in the postseason. He comes to the mound inheriting a 3-1 lead. That could be a big, big insurance run. That home run by Raleigh in the top of this inning. First pitch, bottom 5, is ball 1. One-oh pitch. That's a little inside. 2-0 the count on Jimenez. Two-oh pitch from Woo to Jimenez. That's not close. It's 3-0. Top of the order, Springer is on deck. Woo's 3-0. There's a strike. 3-1. Three-one pitch. Inside, leadoff walk to Jimenez in the bottom of the 5th. And the batter will be George Springer. Springer is 0 for 1. He has reached on a walk. And he scored the Blue Jays run in the first. Crowd on their feet, as they have been most of the evening. Springer hits it foul, strike 1. You can still see after Springer swings that bat that knee is still bothering him. Swing and a miss. Springer is behind in the count, 0-2. Strike 2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Springer strikes out for the first out, and it will bring up Lucas. Lucas is 0 for 2. A flyout and a strikeout tonight for Lucas. That's bounced foul, strike 1. Guerrero is on deck. Oh, 1 pitch. Upstairs, 1-1. One pitch to Lucas from Wu. Bouncer to short. That's a tailor-made double play. 6-3 double play. End of the inning. Mariners turn it. We head to the 6th. 3-1 Seattle in the decisive Game 7. Be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for the Mariners. Suarez, Crawford, and Rivas. Due up in the 6th. That's a big double play turned. So an ample chance there for the Blue Jays by getting the leadoff man on. But the first double play turn tonight for Seattle quickly ends that threat in the 5th, and the Blue Jays down to their final 12 outs of their season. Eugenio Suarez will lead it off in the 6th, and Varland's night on the mound is done as the Blue Jays will bring on their 3rd pitcher of the night. It's going to be Seranthony Dominguez coming in for the 7th time in the postseason. He's 1-0. He's pitched 5 2/3 innings. He's given up 3 runs, 3 hits. Walk to strikeout ratio is not good. He's walked 5 and struck out 5. So he's been a little bit all over the place. So Varland goes an inning and a third. Gives up 1 hit, 1 run. That was the Raleigh homer. Threw 13 pitches in an inning and a third. But Seranthony Dominguez, 3rd Blue Jays pitcher of the night, coming on to try to keep this where it is, a 2-run spread. Again, Suarez, Crawford, and Rivas, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters scheduled here in the 6th for Seattle. Update on some other sports news. Update on that Monday Night Football game in Detroit. Lions look like they're about to go to 5-2 as they lead the Buccaneers 24-9. 8.5 minutes to go in that one. That would be just the 2nd loss of the season for Tampa Bay. So here we go. Dominguez to the mound here in the 6th. And he will face Suarez. First pitch. Upstairs, ball 1. Suarez sends it in the air to left center field, and a running catch out there in left center by Lucas for the first out here in the top of the sixth. Batter will be J.P. Crawford. Crawford doubled his last time up, and he also has a sacrifice bunt in this game. Dominguez's pitch. That's lined one hop to second, and the throw in time for the second out. Batter will be Rivas with the bases empty and 2 outs. Rivas has struck out both of his at-bats tonight so far. There's a strike. Oh, 1 pitch. Low. Counts even 1-1. Dominguez ready, and the 1-1 pitch to Rivas. That's a little high. 2-1. Two-one pitch. That's popped up. Foul territory, and the catch made over there by Clement, and an easy 1-2-3 top of the sixth for Dominguez. Only a 7-pitch top of the sixth inning. We go to the bottom of the sixth. 3-1 Seattle. It's going to be Guerrero, Kirk, and Varsho, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Again, winner to the World Series against the Dodgers. And I think the question's going to be, how are the Dodgers going to come out? Because they're going to have a week off in between the time they absolutely dispatch the Brewers in the NLCS and by the time the World Series starts. So how will that layoff affect the Dodgers, if at all? Game 1 will definitely be a big key there to see. Again, if the Mariners win, Dodgers get home field advantage. If the Blue Jays come back and win, it will be the Blue Jays with the home field advantage. Guerrero to lead it off here in the bottom of the sixth. He's 1 for 2. He singled back in the first inning. Three good bats due up for the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the sixth. Roof closed at the Rogers Center. It's been closed the last 2 games. See if Wu will come back out and pitch the sixth for Seattle. He only threw 11 pitches in that 5th inning. Blue Jays have only managed 3 hits since the 1st inning in this game. So here we go. It will be Woo back out to pitch his second inning of relief. And he'll face Guerrero to lead off the bottom of the sixth. First pitch, bottom six. Downstairs, ball one. Guerrero's postseason average with his 1-for-2 tonight is now at .463. 1-0 pitch. Strike. Counts even 1-1. One pitch from Woo to Guerrero. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Guerrero was swinging for the other side of Ontario on that swing. One-two pitch. Outside and low, 2-2. Two pitch to Guerrero. Bouncer foul. Stays alive. Very hard to strike Guerrero out. He has only struck out 2 times total in the postseason. Another 2-2. Another foul ball. Woo looks in on Guerrero again and gets set to deliver another 2-2 pitch. And another foul ball. Good battle here. Be pitch number 8 of the at-bat. Another 2-2. And another foul. Guerrero battling here against Woo. 2-2 once again. Swing and a miss. He got him to Chase. And right as I said, Guerrero a hard man to strike out. Woo finds a way to do it. Threw one low and outside and got Guerrero to Chase. 1 out. And here's Alejandro Kirk. Kirk is 0 for 2 tonight. Woo's pitch to Kirk is a ball. Kirk a strikeout and a lineout in his 2 previous plate appearances. 1-0 pitch. Kirk fouls it off. That'll even the count 1-1. Woo steps off momentarily before this 1-1 pitch. Nervous times, nail-biting time. 1-1. Downstairs, 2-1. Two-one pitch to Kirk. It's lined into center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Kirk is aboard with a 1-out single, and it will bring the tying run to the plate in Dalton Varsho. Varsho, an RBI single in the first that drove in the Blue Jays' only run of the night so far. A meeting on the mound before Varsho steps in for this at bat. Big moment in this game. Still only in the 6th inning. There's time, but you don't know how many more opportunities you're going to have if you're Toronto. Mariners bullpen loosening again. Gabe Speier is up. Here we go. Wu against Varsho. Inside, ball 1. Short lead at first base, the 1-0 pitch. Varsho lines it into right field, but right at the right fielder Robles for out number 2. Well, that was hit right on the dot, but right at Robles. And the batter will be Clement with the runner at first and 2 outs. Clement 0 for 2 tonight. Wu trying to get out of this 6th inning, still with that 2-run lead. Clement takes low, ball 1. A line out and a fly out tonight for Clement. Wu's pitch. On the ground to short. And over to second to retire the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 6th. Mariners 9 outs away from their first ever World Series berth. We go to the 7th. 3-1 Seattle. Robles and then the top of the order, Rodriguez and Raleigh. Due up here in the Mariners' 7th inning. Blue Jays left their 5th runner on base tonight with that man stranded in the 6th. While we have a moment going into the 7th inning, want to update you on my upcoming live stream schedule. We'll be with you for Game 1 of the World Series Friday night. Dodgers and the winner of this. First pitch is just after 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. In fact, all World Series games are scheduled for 8:08 Eastern Time first pitch. Games 1 and 2 will be Friday and Saturday. And then the scene will shift for games 3, 4, and 5 if needed on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I will be with you on the live stream for Game 1 of the World Series coming up on Friday night. May pop on either tomorrow or Wednesday for one of these Conference USA football and college football games going on in the midweek. Have to wait and see what the schedule does. But here we go, inning number 7. And we will have the 4th Blue Jays pitcher of the night coming in, Kevin Gausman, coming in a relief appearance. He started 3 games in this postseason. He's 1-1. He's pitched 17 innings, gave up 4 runs, 10 hits, walked 6, and struck out 12. So Dominguez goes 1 inning. He only threw 7 pitches in that 6th inning. At the Blue Jays with their 4th pitcher of the night. Here we go. Robles leading it off. Top 7 against Gausman. First pitch down low. Ball 1. Gausman's 1-0 pitch. Hit foul. Counts even 1-1. Robles 0 for 1 on the night. He did walk. Back in the 4th. 1-1 outside, 2-1. Two-one pitch right down the middle for strike 2. Evens the count 2-2. Two-two pitch is ripped, but well foul. It's up in the second deck there on the third base left field side. Another 2-2 and another foul ball. Robles hanging in here against Gausman. Two-two pitch. Downstairs, that'll fill the count, 3-2. Blue Jays fans starting to have some nervous looks on their faces. 3-2 payoff, and that's a leadoff walk to Robles in the top of the 7th. And it will bring up Julio Rodriguez. Rodriguez has singled and homered. 2 for 3 on the night. Gausman delivers strike 1 to Rodriguez. Oh, 1 pitch. On the ground to short. That's a tailor-made double play. On the second one. On to first. Double play. Second double play turned by Toronto tonight. 6-4-3 variety. And there's now 2 outs. And nobody on for Cal Raleigh. Raleigh 1 for 3 tonight. He homered back in the 5th. That's what's extended this lead to 3-1. They are going to intentionally walk Cal Raleigh with the bases empty to face Naylor. Naylor had an RBI single back in the first that got the scoring started tonight. Takes inside here, ball one. Gossman's 1-0 pitch to Naylor. Downstairs, it's 2-0. That misses. It's 3-0 to Naylor. .30 pitch, and that's a 4-pitch walk to Naylor. And it will bring up Polanco. And it will also get a visit from the pitching coach for Toronto out to talk to Gausman. Back-to-back walks here with 2 outs. They intentionally walk Raleigh. And then a 4-pitch non-intentional walk to Naylor. Polanco coming up is 1 for 3 on the evening. Singled back in the third. First and second, 2 outs. Gausman to Polanco. That's a ball. So not counting the intentional walk to Cal Raleigh, that is 5 straight out of the strike zone from Gausman. .10 pitch. There's a strike. 1-1. One misses low. 2-1. Two-one pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Rogers Center comes to their feet. Trying to urge Gausman to get this final out and get out of the 7th inning, still down just 2. Two on the ground to second. And that will do it. Mariners strand 2. It is stretch time in Toronto. Mariners lead it 3-1. The bottom third of the Blue Jays order: Barger, Kiner-Falefa, and Jimenez due up in the last of the 7th inning. Mariners have now left 7 runners on base, and they are now just 1 for 7 tonight with runners in scoring position. So the Blue Jays, 9 outs remaining. try and battle back from a 2-run deficit. They're still going to have their big bats coming up at least one more time. Seeing who comes out to pitch for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 7th, as Woo's already gone 2 innings in relief. Woo's pitched 28 pitches in his 2 innings of relief. Barger to lead it off. He is 1 for 2 tonight. And Woo is coming out for his 3rd inning of relief. He would stand to get the win right now for the Mariners. Bieber, the starter for the Blue Jays, is the pitcher of record right now on the losing side. First pitch from Woo, bottom 7 to Addison Barger. Inside, ball 1. One-0 pitch. That's hit foul. Count goes to 1-1. Bizzardo is starting to loosen in the Mariner bullpen. One. That's upstairs, 2-1. Two one misses low. It's 3-1. Three-one pitch. There's a leadoff walk in the bottom of the 7th. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, the batter, representing the tying run. Kiner-Falefa hitless in 2 at-bats tonight. Pitch showing bunt, and it's a strike. A line out and a hit into a fielder's choice tonight for Kiner-Falefa. 0-1 does not show bunt this time and hits it foul, and Kiner-Falefa's in an 0-2 hole. Oh-2 pitch. Up the middle and through. Base hit. That got past a diving J.P. Crawford. First 2 on for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 7th for Jimenez. Jimenez has reached base both times tonight. He's singled and he's reached on a walk. Tying run at first. Jimenez at the plate represents the go-ahead run. And this will get a visit from the Mariners pitching coach. Pete Woodworth makes his way out to the mound to talk with Woo. Blue Jays led the majors in comeback wins in the regular season this year. Base for runners at first and second, rather nobody out. Bunt and inside to Jimenez. Ball one. One-zero pitch. Jimenez gets the bunt down. Only one play to first. Sacrifice successful. Two in scoring position now with one out. And here comes Springer as we're back to the top of the order. And that's going to do it for Woo on the mound as Dan Wilson makes his way out of the dugout. Probably going to see Bizzardo come in. So Woo's night is done after 2 1/3 innings. Gave up 2 hits, no runs yet, but the 2 runners on base are his responsibility. He walked 2, he struck out 2. Threw 38 pitches in relief. And it is going to be Bizzardo coming in the game. With 2 on and 1 out for Seattle. Edward Bizzardo coming in for the 9th time in the postseason. 1-0 record. He's pitched 11 innings. He's given up 4 runs, 9 hits. He's walked 1. He has struck out 12. But inherits a jam here. Runners at second and third with 1 out. George Springer coming up is 0 for 2 tonight. He has reached on a walk. He reached on a walk and scored the Blue Jays run back in the first inning. Barger, the runner at third. Connor Falifa, the runner at second, representing the tying run. And George Springer at the plate represents the go-ahead run. So here's Springer stepping in the batter's box. Everyone's standing at the Rogers Center, or at least 95% of the crowd is. Ball one. Luzardo looks in on Springer and delivers the 1-0 pitch. Springer! Deep to left! Back it goes! Jays lead it! 3-run home run! George Springer! 4-3 Toronto! Wow! Springer sends a no-doubt 3-run blast over the left center field wall. And has just taken Toronto from a 3-1 deficit to a 4-3 lead. My goodness gracious. Lucas will be the batter. As George Springer just took a curtain call. Wow, wow, wow. That was a no-doubter about a quarter of the way up the seats in left center field. Lucas skies this one foul, third base side, strike one. Oh, 1 is high, 1-1. The roof absolutely came off the Rogers Center on that 3-run homer. It's hit foul, 1-2. One-two pitch ripped into right, and Lucas has a base hit. And that will bring up Guerrero. Guerrero rips it into left, but right out of Rosarena for out number 2. And the batter will be Alejandro Kirk. Kirk is 1 for 3 tonight. This game's still far from over. It's only a 1-run spread. Still got 2 innings to go. Kirk takes strike 2. It's 0-2. 0-2 is a little low and outside, 1-2. One-two pitch to Kirk. Outside, 2-2. Two-two is a called strike three to Kirk to end the inning. However, the tide turned and the lead changed with a 3-run home run for George Springer. We head to the 8th. 4-3 Blue Jays. Be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Mariners. Arozarena, Suarez, and Crawford in the 8th inning. So the final line on Wu, 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. He was responsible for 2 of those 3 runs on the 3-run homer. That will get Bieber off the hook for the loss. Gausman would now be the pitcher of record for the Blue Jays. He gets lifted, and we will see the 5th pitcher of the night for Toronto come in. And Chris Bassett. He's making just his 2nd postseason appearance. He's pitched an inning and 2/3 in his prior outing. Struck out 2. As he will face Arozarena, Suarez, and Crawford here in the 8th inning. The Blue Jays now up for the first time tonight. So George Springer, injured knee and all from that hit by pitch back in Game 5. The hero of the night for the Blue Jays, at least for the moment. So here's Arozarena to lead it off in the 8th for Seattle. He is 1 for 3 tonight with a single. First pitch, top of the 8th, is a bouncer to short. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 8th. And here is Eugenio Suarez. He's got a 1 for 3 evening going. Pitch to Suarez, strike 1. Oh, 1. Little high. 1-1. Mason Flaherty and Jeff Hoffman loosening in the Blue Jays pin. 1-1 pitch is outside, 2-1. Two one pitch. Strike two. Two pitch to Suarez. Upstairs, that'll fill the count. J.P. Crawford on deck. Three-two pitch to Suarez, hit foul. Count will stay 3-2. Another 3-2 payoff pitch to Suarez. Called strike three on the inside corner. Suarez didn't like that. So 2 down for J.P. Crawford. Ball one. One-zero pitch to short. 1-2-3 go the Mariners in the eighth. We head to the bottom of the eighth inning. 4-3 Toronto. Be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Varsho, Clement, and Barger in the bottom of the eighth inning for the Blue Jays, who are 3 outs away from their first World Series berth in 32 years. Oh, I forgot to give you the final numbers on Gausman. He pitched 1 inning. He walked 3 batters, but did not give up any runs, and he actually would be the pitcher of record on the winning side right now. Fourth pitcher for the Mariners, Andres Munoz, coming in to try to keep this a 1-run spread. Munoz out for the 7th time in the postseason. He's pitched 7 1/3 innings. He's walked 2. He has struck out 5. He has 2 saves in the postseason. But his job here is just to keep it a 4-3 game and give the Mariners a chance in the 9th. Varsho will be the leadoff hitter for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 8th. Varsho an RBI single back in the 1st. That was the only run of the game for the Blue Jays until that go-ahead 3-run home run by George Springer in the bottom of the 7th. Here we go. First pitch, bottom of the eighth, is lined into right. That's a base hit for Varsho to lead it off in the bottom of the eighth inning. And the batter will be Clement. Clement has an 0 for 3 night going. He is the only Blue Jays starter tonight without a base hit. He bunts, foul, strike one. A line out, a fly out, and a hit into a fielder's choice in Clement's 3 at-bats tonight. Clement pulled the bat back on the bunt attempt, and the count's even 1-1. One is a strike. 1-2 now the count on Clement. One-two is through into right for a base hit. Varsho rounding second, heading to third. Runners at the corners. No one out for the Blue Jays in the eighth. Trying to add an important insurance run or two. And Barger will be the batter. So everybody in the Blue Jays batting order tonight now with a hit. Here's Barger, 1 for 2. Ball one. Barger has singled, reached on a walk, and scored a run. He scored on the Springer home run. Strike one. Munoz 1-1 pitch to Barger upstairs, 2-1. Kiner Falefa's on deck. Two one. That's hit to first. That's a double play. That was hit to first. Naylor made the catch and then stepped on first to double up Clement. 2 outs and a runner at third. A huge double play turned by the Mariners. Here's Kiner Falefa. Strike one. Boy, what a job this would be for the Mariners if they can get out of this with no runs scoring. Oh 1. 0-2. In the Mariners' ninth inning, it's going to be Rivas, Robles, and the top of the order, Rodriguez. If anyone gets on, Cal Raleigh. 0-2 pitch to Kiner Falefa. Outside, 1-2. One-two pitch. Hit foul. Count stays 1-2. Another 1-2. Up the middle, but there is the second baseman, and Seattle gets out of it. First and third, nobody out. Blue Jays do not score. We head to the ninth. Mariners need a run. They trail 4-3. Again, Rivas, Robles, and the top of the order, Rodriguez. Raleigh would get up if anybody gets on. See if Bassett comes into the game here in the ninth. He's been warming up a couple times out there in the Blue Jays bullpen. And it will be Hoffman coming on to try to close this out and send the Blue Jays to the World Series. So Bassett went 1 inning, struck out 1, only threw 10 pitches. Jeff Hoffman on for the 6th time in the postseason. Does have 1 save already. He's pitched 6 1/3 innings. Given up 1 run, 3 hits. He's walked 2. He has struck out 9. Rivas will lead it off in the ninth for the Mariners. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Hoffman had 33 saves this year for Toronto in the regular season. George Springer home run in the bottom of the 7th inning, the difference that's given the Blue Jays the lead. First pitch, a bunt, and a foul ball, strike 1. Rivas tried to catch the Blue Jays off guard there by laying down a bunt. Defensive change for Toronto. Miles Straw comes in the game to play left field. Lucas, who was in left field, moves to right field. Barger's out of the game. 0-1 pitch, down low, 1-1. Mariners would love to get a runner on to get Raleigh up and give him a chance. He's due up 4th in the inning. 1-1, inside corner, strike 2. One-two pitch. Downstairs, 2-2. 2-2 pitch. Down low. That'll fill the count. 3-2. Full count pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 out in the 9th. Gonna have a pinch hitter here for Robles. Canzone's gonna be the pinch hitter. Dominic Canzone in postseason play, hitting just 3 for 27. 0.95 in the ALCS. Ball 1. He was a 300 hitter in the regular season. 1-0 pitch. Popped up. Behind home plate. Does Kirk have a play? He does not. It's 1-1. Hoffman's 1-1 pitch to Canzone. Way high, 2-1. Top of the order, Julio Rodriguez is on deck. 2-1. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Hoffman looks in on Canzone, delivers the 2-2 pitch. Got him! 2 out in the 9th. And the Blue Jays 1 out away. And Julio Rodriguez is the batter, and he homered earlier this game. 2 for 4 on the night. If he gets on, Cal Raleigh would come up. Rodriguez has also doubled tonight. Ball 1. One-zero pitch. Inside, 2-0. Two-zero pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-1. Rodriguez swung at ball 3 right there. Hoffman's 2-1 to Rodriguez. Fouled back. And now the Blue Jays are 1 strike away. Two-two. Down low. That'll fill the count. Count on Rodriguez with 2. The payoff pitch. He got him! And for the first time in 32 years, the Toronto Blue Jays are headed to the World Series. A George Springer home run in the 7th inning, the difference. As the Blue Jays win it 4-3. And the Blue Jays advance to take on the Los Angeles Dodgers. Four runs, 10 hits, no errors for Toronto. They left 7 on base. 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Seattle. They left 7 on base. Gausman got the win. Hoffman picks up the save. And Bizardo, the one that gave up the 3-run home run to Springer in the 7th inning, takes the loss. So the Toronto Blue Jays will have home field in the World Series over the Dodgers. And the World Series will get underway on Friday night. And George Springer, the hero tonight. And he'll have a chance to win a World Series ring with 2 different teams. One with the Astros. And now we'll have a chance to add one with the Blue Jays. My goodness gracious. Blue Jays win it 4-3. Ken Rosenthal on Fox Sports doing an interview with the hero of the night, George Springer. His 7th inning 3-run home run erased a 3-1 deficit and turned it into a 4-3 lead that eventually was the final score. A good one in Game 7. And it's the Blue Jays advancing. Going to wrap up the live stream right here. And my name is John, Sports Bonanza John here on YouTube. If you like my content, really would appreciate a like and subscribe. Also on Kick, Sports Kick John. I will be back with you Friday night, Game 1 of the World Series. Dodgers and Blue Jays. May sneak a college football game in here midweek. We'll see what happens. But for sure, I'll be back with you Friday night for World Series Game 1. Appreciate you joining me, everyone, and hopefully talk to you